Episode 12. And then there was one, is the most bananas episode of the series, so strap in. We begin with Ulrich in Janet's room watching her as she sleeps. He leans over to kiss her but hesitates, wondering how she got into his head. Joe grabs him and throws him out of the room, warning Ulrich that if he does anything to Janet, he'll kill him. Ulrich insists that he can't hurt Janet, and Joe realizes Ulrich is no longer loyal to the program. Ulrich goes to his office and finds the director on the monitor. She asks if he's all right, and he reminds her that he's always been dedicated to the program. The director understands his obsession, and Ulrich realizes she's red-carding the town. She gives him one more chance to prove himself, telling him he'll know the opportunity when he succeeds or fails. The next morning, Moira and Chadwick Boseman discover the elevator isn't working. They take the stairs and find Erica in the lobby with all the furniture gone. Joe comes out of Ulrich's office, admitting that Janet and Ulrich have disappeared. Cameron and Bill come down, and they all go out onto the street where Ulrich and Janet are waiting. Janet calls them to the Shanghai Palace, where they discover that the staff has disappeared. The group searches the town and realizes it's been cleaned out of all supplies. Erica goes berserk when she finds 6 body bags in the sheriff's office, and Joe tells them there are only 6 because only one of them can get out alive. Erica demands answers, and even Janet admits they can't trust Joe. Janet confronts Ulrich, who explains that Joe is right. They will kill each other. Janet asks if he can stop it, and Ulrich walks away without answering. Eventually, he admits that the program predicts she will be the survivor. Janet asks him to save the others as well, but Ulrich says he'll save only her. Janet refuses to leave without the others. He tells her that's why she'll survive and insists she'll do whatever it takes in the end. Janet confronts Joe in his hotel room. Joe explains that if he had told her the truth earlier, she wouldn't have believed him. He reveals he survived his own program session until Ulrich intervened. The program's goal, he explains, is to manipulate the captives into turning against each other, creating the illusion of free will. Janet asks if their relationship was real, and Joe insists it was. She then tells him about Ulrich's offer to let her leave, but she refused to go without the others. Joe advises her to take the deal and return to her old life, as he cannot do the same. In San Francisco, Jermaine and Kat meet Sherman Golightly, a medical examiner in Chinatown. Sherman tells them that the person to whom the thumb they smuggled belongs is still alive. Ulrich returns to his office and activates the communication system, informing the night manager and the director that he's ready to initiate the exit sequence. The director offers him a different position in the program, but warns that his previous role is no longer available. When Ulrich protests, she cuts him off. Ulrich warns Janet that time is running out. He gathers the group and leads them toward the barrier. After deactivating it with a hidden switch, he walks through, cautioning the others to stay back. Bill rushes forward and is caught by the barrier. Ulrich continues to warn them as the director watches from her monitor and activates a control, which results in Ulrich's demise. Janet tells the group that they're expected to turn on each other, but insists they work together to escape. Janet, Joe, and Moira head to Ulrich's office, where they find the monitoring system. They notice that Erica was briefly out of camera view and realize this might be significant. Meanwhile, Kat and Jermaine visit Dr. Gilman, who is now in the hospital. He explains that he was helping villagers during a mudslide when he passed out and woke up back in the U.S. Though Jermaine says they saw his body a week ago, Gilman reveals that he's now working at a cancer research clinic because he can no longer perform surgery. He says he's found a new purpose as part of something bigger. The captives gather and realize Ulrich's body has been taken. Chadwick Boseman insists they must all stick together. Erica chooses Chadwick to pair up with her. Janet warns them not to show any vulnerabilities, as their captors will exploit them. Chadwick agrees, telling Moira to stay with Cameron, acknowledging that what they have won't work in the real world. Bill realizes he's on his own and tells Cameron he'll protect himself however he can. Kat and Jermaine go to an internet cafe to check the hospital's records. Kat realizes that Gilman said the same things as Angela Berrigan did. Jermaine checks the donations and realizes one of the donors is the Mansfield Institute, the same organization that bought out the register. Erica meets Janet in Ulrich's office and laments that Janet never tried to learn more about her. She leans in to kiss Janet, who stops her. As Erica leaves, Janet realizes Moira has disappeared off the monitors. She switches to Bill's monitor and sees a man beating him to death. Erica gathers the others, but Bill has vanished. The vault door is closed, and Joe explains that they have taken him. When Cameron arrives, the group informs him that Bill is dead. Cameron slaps Janet and accuses them of never giving Bill a chance. He storms off, taking refuge in his bedroom. In Mansfield, Iowa, Jermaine and Kat visit the Mansfield Institute. They talk to a docet, asking about San Nicasio and the Institute's relationship with Franklin and Gilman. Jermaine loses his temper and starts yelling at the surveillance devices, and Kat joins him. Security hauls them out as the director and night manager watch on the monitors, admitting it's impressive how close they've gotten. At the restaurant, Cameron complains to Moira, insisting it doesn't matter who killed Bill in the end. When Erica insults him, Cameron grabs her by the throat. Moira pulls him off, but Cameron insists he's not who they think. He clutches his arm and collapses from a heart attack. Erica tries to revive him, but fails. As they cover him, they find injection marks on his hand, realizing someone murdered him and made it look like a heart attack. At the hotel bar, Erica drinks while Janet and Joe go over the small amount of food they found. Jermaine arrives, informing them that Moira is in shock. A tipsy Erica accuses Joe of not reacting to the situation, then goes to comfort Moira, ignoring Janet's warning. Moira is playing the piano at the Shanghai Palace when Erica approaches with a drink. Erica admits Cameron didn't deserve to die, and none of them deserve what's happening. Noticing Cameron's body is missing, Erica questions Moira, but Moira doesn't respond. Instead, Moira violently attacks Erica, who dies in the struggle. Janet and the others arrive, and Moira accuses Erica of killing Cameron and Bill. When they doubt her, Moira pleads with Jermaine to believe her, but he doesn't. Moira runs, and the group follows her to her hotel room, finding it covered in cryptic writings. Jermaine explains that Moira has been trying to figure out where they are and suggests she might be right about Erica. Moira runs to the balcony, preparing to jump. Chadwick Boseman finds her, apologizes, and pulls her back to safety, telling her he loves her and will protect her. Suddenly, Moira pushes Chadwick over the edge, causing him to fall. Inside, Moira attacks Janet, but Janet fights back with a fire extinguisher and subdues her. Joe finds Janet, and she tells him they're the only ones left. As sirens blare and red lights flash, they go outside to see a strange device emerge from a manhole. Meanwhile, Kat and Jermaine, driving away, discuss their lack of credibility. Jermaine vows to get revenge, and Kat agrees to help. Janet and Joe discover all the bodies have disappeared except for one at the sheriff's office. Back at the Shanghai Palace, Joe comforts Janet and offers her a drink. Joe spits his out, revealing he's part of the program, and claims he wasn't allowed to choose her. He puts her in the last body bag and kisses her goodbye before loading her into a van. The director congratulates Joe, but the night manager tasers him unconscious. In the van, Janet escapes her body bag and frees the others. It's revealed they faked their deaths to trick their captors. During a struggle with the driver, the van crashes.